Welcome to another episode of Musical Peoples and Journeys, where darkness descends and where creatures of the night rise up, make an album that we can review. Because, ladies and gentlemen, today we are reviewing Dayseeker and Creature in the Black Night. Now then, there's only one place to start as we take this journey of reviewing this amazing band, rate them out of 5, see if they get into a Hall of Fame, see if they get into Album of the Year. The Darkest Creature that's here today. Trish!
Thanks for that.
An intro.
What an intro. As soon as I heard the opening track, I immediately got vibes of Bad Omens vocally mixed with Evergrey musically. What a combination in this metalcore genre. Dayseeker brought us this offering in the form of the album Creature in the Black Night. Whilst the tracks sound similar and blend into one another, for me this wasn't a negative. Sometimes you just want an album to be an easy listen. This album is just that, telling the story of loving the wrong person, and no matter how much you pull away, your heart gravitates back to them, even though your head is telling you not to. A story many of us may have experienced, I'm sure. Dayseeker somehow brings this to life. I absolutely love the track Shapeshift. This track really caught my attention. The album hooks you into their world of music, and I'm glad it has.
So, just part of the segue, by the way, is that we have reviewed Dayseeker before with Dark Sun, and it got a 3.8. I mean, let's be honest about it. This is a dark album about vampires, and there's only one bloodsucker here to get them, and that's Dom! Dom, you bloodsucker! What do you think of this?
Hey, oh man, this is they're really strong at the moment. I think Dayseeker. They are, they've got this awesome theme in this album. First of all, this horror theme that runs through the whole album, and it's truly kind of got a haunted feel that runs all the way through it. There's this kind of focus on death. And it kind of feels like it'd be really impressive, but actually it's kind of clever, I think, that it's some really clever songwriting and theme that they've created as they kind of using horror to explore some like really serious real life topics. So there's things like songs around depression and isolation and relationships, as Trish is talking about, that kind of comes out really, really strongly. And I just think that's really clever. It's the harsh lyrics, I think, hit really perfectly. And so for me, again, this is like a storytelling album. It's really strong, it's powerful, and there's some great lines, just some great lyrics in there that really, really stick with you. It's really brightly recorded. It had a really nice high presence, which I really liked. And the vocals, I say, are really strong. And for that style of music, it's words you can hear, because I think the words are important for them. Sometimes in this kind of style of music, you'd actually lose that, actually understanding and hearing what the song is about straight away, but you get it immediately and just lifts what might be an oppressive feel to an album, I think, into just great joy. I think it's amazing.
Why did you have to finish off the word amazing for? Because now I've got to segue to somebody that I don't really want to say is amazing, but of course he is, because it's Pete. Pete, you creature of the night. Did this resonate with you, my friend?
I gotta say, a band like Dayseeker and an album like this is why I'm here. This is the glorious thing about this podcast, is that you find bands that you just like, oh wow. So I started listening to this album, and it starts off like really ethereal and dreamy, just lovely music, and then suddenly out of nowhere it just punches you with this raw metalcore energy, and I'm there for it. Like, I'm absolutely here for that. It's like it's a really lovely flowing album with some metalcore elements in there that are just mwah. And it's all carried by this the singer, the vocals, absolutely amazing to finish it off. Some of you may know, some of you will know how I feel about Sleep Token, and nothing is like Sleep Token, but this I feel is kind of like Sleep Token. So it's like one of the highest praises I can give. Throughout the album, they're just like alternating between that dreamy, ethereal music and the metalcore, in-your-face elements. There's some really great breakdowns on the album as well, and breakdowns, I'm there for it. Sign me up. I'm here. Shapeshifter is one of those tracks that when the breakdown kicks in, you're just like, yes, stand face comes out. And on top of that, this is maybe an odd compliment to give, but I really love the artwork as well. The artwork of this album and going through their previous album, their visual style is also amazing, and I feel it's really fitting with the music. So yeah, I'm really happy to be here with Trish on this podcast. Unfortunately, Will is not here, but yeah, Trish, Will, and albums like these. This is why I'm here.
What about me? What about me?
Who are you?
What about me? I invited you. Trish,
What about you?
You're not happy that you're with me on a podcast?
Who are you?
I don't know. Anyway, somebody who is happy. He's always happy. Happy to be back. It's Ian. Ian, Dayseeker, Creature in the Black Night. So that's something you wanted to get your teeth stuck into?
I never heard of Dayseeker. It wasn't something that instantly came to my recollection. And what I did 10 minutes ago sometimes doesn't instantly come to my recollection. So let's be real about this. I'd like to just do this slightly differently. I'd like to list the tracks and just show what I found absolutely brilliant about this album. So Pale Moonlight, Creature in the Black Night, Crawl Back to My Coffin, Shapeshift, Soulburn, Bloodlust, Cemetery Blues, Nocturnal Remedy, The Living Dead, Meet the Reaper, and Forgotten Ghost. If you come up with a concept for an album, and then you come up with such fantastic, not only associated names, but good song names as well, you then have the problem, how the hell do we make these songs sound good? That's
a really good take.
Or
Wow.
You come up with some really good songs and think, right, what can we call these songs? Whichever way you approach it, fucking hard. Really, really hard. As I mentioned several times, I like the composition of music. I like the structure of music. And this is the concept. To be able to come up with that and have an album that actually supports it and sustains that beauty. I think the ethereal theme goes through the names of the album and adds to that feeling in the same way as Pete described the artwork. I loved it and I hated it. It was that strong. There's an absolute divide. I hated it because it was too heavy and a bit screamo for me in places. But I loved it, absolutely loved it, for exactly what's it. Pale Moonlight, Shapeshift, absolute standout songs for me, amazing. The power metal, heavy riffs, the comfortable voices. Some voices can be a bit shrill, but oh my god, you feel so safe listening to that voice. It's not going to take you anywhere you don't want to be, apart from the screamo for me. I just think I want to give it a 5. I want to give it a 1 for the other places. There's not, it's okay, I like this, I don't like that. I either really fucking loved it or, no, it's not my thing at all. So, a really good mix-up and an album I will be listening to more because I like albums that challenge me on the screamo side of things. So hopefully it'll encourage me to listen to some more albums. That's what I love about this podcast, is it introduces me to music I wouldn't necessarily listen to. For that, I'm grateful, like Battle Beast,
So, swiftly moving on, we won't mention Battle Beast again. Funny enough, no, joking. For people on the show and my fellow podcasters, you know I'm not a fan of metalcore, and I always say, unless metalcore is used to accentuate moments in an album or in a song, and this is an absolute perfect example of that. It's short, it's quick, it's brutal, but it's perfectly timed and accentuates what the message of the song is trying to convey, and it's absolutely done. And this is a bit of a definitely grower. It is a concept album. It very much is all about the world of vampire. It's quite extraordinary because we've had 2 albums this month. One on the other side by Creeper with The Mistress of Death, and this one, which is all about that kind of gothic kind of world, really. And they couldn't be further apart. You have one that's like, and Ian, I suggest you listen to Creeper, because if you like Meatloaf and you like that sort of theatrical genre, Creeper is probably one of the best albums of the year for that sort of music. And then you've got this dark, immersive, which was what Creeper first started when they started their journey, kind of sounded like. And then you've got this dark, immersive, gritty world that brings you and tells you this story in such a way that you can't listen to this album once. It's got to be, I think I ended up listening 4 or 5 times. Shapeshifter, if it wasn't for the song that I put in, would be probably definitely one of my top 5 songs of the year. It's so goddamn amazingly cool, with so many different components in, and the guy's voice is there. And as I say, we talked about Sabaton earlier and about storytelling. This is probably one of the best storytelling albums of the year. There is times where I've got, it's a bit too screamo, but it's definitely bearable, and it's definitely worth a listen. And it's just an album that you can't not listen to. You've got to keep listening to it, and you've got to get into the lyrics, and you've got to get into the story, because it's so goddamn good. It's so good, it really is very, very good. Will it be enough? Will it get into a Hall of Fame? If Dark Sun got to 3.8, will this get over the line then? Let's find out then. Creature of the Night she is, and will shed light with her vote. Trish.
4.
4 from Trish. Dom.
Almost there, 4.5.
You don't give 5s easily, do you, Dom? You don't. Neither does Pete. Pete.
Which is why I also gave it a 4.5.
Yay! We'll give it a disappointed 3. Ian, what do you give it?
I gave this a 3.5.
Okay, pretty cool. I give this a 4.5 as well. So, a 4 or more from Simon. We're going to drop. I'll give you the game away. We're going to drop Will's 3. So Simon did vote more than a 3. If it's more than a 4, it gets into our Hall of Fame. It's not going to be quite enough to get into our automatic slots. But Simon. Also loved it. 4.5, which is fantastic. Congratulations. Matches Sabaton. He's got a 4.2. So I'm going to drop my 4.5 because I feel I should have been a 5. So therefore, I don't deserve my 4.5 to stand.
I kind of feel the same.
But anyway, and we'll drop Will's 3. So, Creature of the Night is our top 100 album of all time. It's our 81st album of all time, and our 32nd album of the year. I mean, this year the standard has been absolutely phenomenal. Who knows? Somebody might change their mind and put it as a wild card. Who knows? But this is on the top 20. But congratulations, Dayseeker. What an album. Please, I'll be having a bit more of that. Slightly less screamo. Not much. Slightly less. But what do you guys think? Hit the like and subscribe button. Leave your comments below. They all count. That'd be amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you to my wonderful panel, to Trish, to Dom, to Pete, to Ian. Goodbye. Keep rocking. See you soon.